So I've been thinking for a while now that maybe I would start posting videos that are just basically stories about my life. I mean, I'm only 19, I haven't done that much, but some of the stuff that's happened to me is just like absolutely crazy. You know, we all have our interesting little stories, and when I tell them to people, they always tell me they're so interesting. So if I were to upload that kind of stuff, would you guys be interested in watching? I'll talk more about it at the end of this video, but for now, hey guys, it's Ryan, and we got a battle today on the Smogon ladder versus some guy named Suzuki, something like that. I figured out why the Smogon... Why do I keep saying Smogon? God damn it. I figured out why the Showdown replayer always inverts my stuff. It only does that on my first replay. Other than that, it'll work normally. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to start opening the replay of the first match I have, and then I should be on the proper side. Anyway, we're going to roll with this for today. I'm using that rain team, and it's modified. So now Tornadus is actually the choice spec set with U-turn and Tailwind. Jinx is the same, you know, mono attacking, sub, lovely kiss, that fun stuff. Volcarona got replaced with Jirachi because I really needed a steel type, and having another special sweeper sounds good. So sub combo on Jirachi, in the rain with Thunder and Psychic, as you do. Same old Mamoswine with the Life Orb and the Stealth Reps. Same old defensive Politoed and defensive Tentacool. Looking at my opponent's side, Threats on his end. Terrakion will be a problem if I'm not careful with my Jirachi and my Tentacruel. Ferrothorn will be such a pain in the ass to kill, because really, you guys will see, Ferrothorn's just a bitch to deal with at all times pretty much. Volcarona doesn't seem too threatening, got stuff for Tentacruel. His Jirachi could be problematic depending on the set, and if I'm not careful and lose Mamoswine too early, Latios could be a real nuisance. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this thing. He decides to lead off with his Ferrothorn, and I'm going to lead off with Mamoswine. Now, I figure the Stealth Rock Endeavor combo would be obvious because I could bluff the Focus Sash, so I'm just going to go for Rock's first turn, expecting him to switch out, but he stays in, goes straight for Gyro Ball, and I just lost my Mamoswine for no reason at all. So, my absolute best check to his Latios just died first turn. That's not good. So now I'm going to make a switch in a Jinx, and he's going to make a ballsy switch in a Latios, and I mean, it worked out because I did just go straight for Lovely Kiss trying to put the Ferrothorn to sleep. So, yeah. Now he's going to switch into his Jirachi, and predicting that, I'm actually going to make the double switch into my Politoed, and yeah, I just figured it would be the best move to go for, and now I have my Rain up. So I'm figuring he's not going to want to take the Scald and risk getting burned, so I'm going to switch again and go back into my Jinx, trying to catch whatever he's going to switch into. But it turns out his Jirachi has the U-turn, and I know Jinx has really bad physical defense, but an unstabbed U-turn from a Jirachi wouldn't kill it unless it had attack EVs, leading me to believe that his Jirachi is in fact Scarf Jirachi. So I'm down 2-4, it's only turn 4, and he's got this big-ass threat Terrakion in my face. I'm just going to go into my Tornadus, and I figure the superpower, he's not going to want to risk that, so he's going to go to Tentacruel. So I go for U-turn, trying to get switch initiative, but he predicts me yet again, and stays in, and he gets to get off a heavy-ass hit on my Tentacruel as it comes in. I see the Life Orb, and I do have the Protect and the Rain Dish, so I know if I Protect once, I can live another Stone Edge barring any crits, and hopefully get back into this game, because I am getting absolutely smashed right now. So that's exactly what I do, go for Protect. He does just go for the Stone Edge again, probably playing it safe, which is fine with me. But now, I figure nothing on his team will want to get burned, and Volcarona can't really come in on Rain Boosted Scalds, so, and the rocks are up, so I'm just going to go straight for that. He does go into his own Tentacruel, as I do go for Scald. I get a crit, which doesn't come into play at all, and no burn, sadly, though. And it turns out his Tentacruel is running Rain Dish as well, probably because Rain is so common. And now I know he's going to be able to spin for free. I can't really stop him. So what I'm going to do is to go in my Jirachi and resist the rapid spin, because he has to spin because of the Volcarona, and I can't set up rocks again. He knows this. So I get my Jirachi in for free on the spin, and now I'm going to sub, predicting him to predict me to want to go straight for the Psychic. So he's going... So, as I predicted correctly, he goes into his Jirachi to resist the Psychic, as I'm going to get up a free substitute, which is absolutely great. And now here, I get my leftovers, and I notice he doesn't show an item, and he's going to go straight for U-turn. So he's definitely running Scarf Rachi. Really got to be careful of that, otherwise bad things are going to happen. But if you'll notice, his U-turn does not break my sub. That might come into play later. So he decides to U-turn his U-turns into his Terrakion as I set up the Calm Mind. And I'm kind of hoping that my Thunder won't kill him because Terrakion does have some pretty respectable bulk. So I go for the unstabbed Thunder, but after the +1, and he does go for close combat here, so after what is essentially +2, my Thunder is going to be killing him, which sucks for me because I wanted to paralyze him so I could hopefully sub down and get a free sub up and then kill him behind a sub and then sweep his team. But no, that's not the way things work. And now he goes back into Jirachi. There's no reason for him to bring it in like this unless he's going to try to trick me to Scarf. So what I'm going to do is make a double switch out into my Tornadus, which is Choice Specs, as he does go for the trick, so he can take my Specs and I'll take his Scarf. That's great for me, because this Scarf Rachi, as most of them is physically based, so the Specs won't really be helping him. So I'm going to U-turn out, because not sure what he wants to do, and I'm really hoping he's going to try to do the whole double trick thing. I mean, he's not going to go for double trick. Thankfully, though, he doesn't, and he just goes for U-turn. As you can see, his U-turn does 17%, so if I can get this Jirachi in for free, I can definitely sub on his as long as he doesn't try to trick me to Scarf. He does U-turn out into the Volcarona, and I want to see what it's going to do, so I'm just going to go for sub, hoping maybe he'll get greedy and try to start setting up, so I can paralyze him with a Thunder. But he does make the good play, go straight for the Flamethrower, and even under rain, that's going to break my sub. But I figure since it is raining, and it's Flamethrower and not Fire Blast, I should be able to take one relatively well after a Calm Mind boost. So that is exactly what happens. I do set up the Calm Mind, he goes for the Flamethrower again, and it does 32% under rain to a max HP Jirachi. So Volcarona is definitely not playing any games, but now I'm just going to go straight for Thunder, and I do get a crit, which doesn't necessarily come into play. I was really fishing for the para. Either way, though, I got the crit, and he's just going to set up a Quiver Dance in my face, and now he outspeeds me, and because of that Quiver Dance, he's definitely going to be able to take me out. I can't risk that, so I am going to switch out into my Tentacool, expecting him to Flamethrower again because this Jirachi is a huge threat to his team. So that is indeed what happens. He goes for Flamethrower, and it only does 15%. His Tentacool is a freaking monster, as you can see. So now, he's going to go for the HP Ground, and even at +1, it's not stabbed, and even though he's modest, it's still not quite enough to take me down, and I'm just going to go for the Scald and easily kill off that Volcarona, and yeah, Tentacruel is a monster. Good lord, it's crazy. Now I'm expecting him to probably want to go into his Ferrothorn, but he does go into his Tentacruel, which I find a bit weird. So I'm just going to protect and try to get some HP back from my leftovers and my Rain Dish, as he is going to go for Scald, more than likely just trying to finish me off, because his Tentacruel is being kind of a nuisance, but not really. Either way, though, I think my Tentacruel might have some use left in it, so I'm actually going to save it, switch out, go into Politoed, because I really don't need this at this point. There's absolutely no reason to save this Politoed. So that's what I do. He goes for knockoff though, and he knocks off my leftovers, which at the end of the day I didn't need him anyway. So now he's probably going to go for Scald. I'm just going to go straight for Perish Song and force this motherfucker out of here. If I let it stay in too long, it's just not going to be fun times for anybody. He Scalds me, but he doesn't get the burn, which is fine. And I do go for Perish Song. And I'm expecting him to want to stay in, but at the same time, I'm not going to risk going for Protect. There's no reason to. I mean, absolutely none. As he actually switches into his Ferrothorn. I go, what did I switch into here? I don't even remember. Oh yeah, I switched into my Tornadus, just trying to get off a heavy hit on something. So I'm going to go for the Focus Blast, and I only do 59%. I mean, if I still had my Specs, I wouldn't have killed him, but it would have definitely done more. As he is just going to T-Wave me, but again, it's fine at this point because I really don't need this Tornadus at all. I really just need to get my Jirachi in and set up a substitute, and I'll pretty much be able to win the match from there. So I'm going to switch into my Jirachi now as he just goes for the Leech Seed, which is just like, oh god, he's going to be that guy that stalls with Ferrothorn in the rain. Can't have this. And I know that Ferrothorn is just going to keep harassing me and is probably going to set up hazards or some crap. So my best course of action here is instead of going into Tentacruel, go into Politoed as he sets up the Stealth Rocks, which really don't come into play either. and I'm going to go straight for Paris Song so this asshole fucking Ferrothorn can't stay in anymore, and that's exactly what I needed. He Leech Seeds again, and at this point it's almost like I never even hit him with the Focus Blast, as he's up to 95% in just a couple turns, because Leech Seed is just too good. But I know he's probably going to switch out because he did before, so what I'm going to do is go for double Paris Song after I go for the Scald on the Tentacle, trying to burn Ferrothorn, because I don't like this thing. Anyway, I've got another turn before I'm forced to switch, so I'm just going to stay in and go for the Paris Song on this Tentacle as he scalds me again. Really no burns this match, which is kind of weird, but hey, I'm not really going to complain about that. Anyway, Paris Song is a thing. It is indeed what I go for, and I'm about to die. So now, I'm going to make a good play, and I'm going to Death Fodder my Tentacle to his Tentacle. I do this because I can get Jirachi in for free, and hopefully get behind a sub. So he goes for the Scald. He gets a crit. I don't know if that really mattered at all, because my Scald earlier when I got a crit did 28% to him. We're probably running the same set, so like unless that was min-max variation or something, I don't know. Either way, I go into my Tornadus, which is paralyzed, just because I'm trying to fodder this thing too. But I figured U-turn is a good play, as he does switch into his Jirachi, and here's the play that decides the game. So I'm going to U-turn, and I'm going to go into my Jirachi. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and pause this right here, because this is where shit gets real. Okay, he tricked his Scarf, so he's not faster than me anymore, and I'm running max speed, Timid Nature, and he's probably running max speed because his Jirachi's offensive as well, but he's either running Adamant or Jolly. I don't know. If I get a sub up here, I win the game, I can set up freely, nothing can break my sub quick enough, and I'll be able to sweep his team with this Jirachi. However, if it is a speed tie and he wins, he'll be able to trick me the choice specs, and it won't necessarily be bad because this is a specially based Jirachi, but it only has 4 special attack EVs. So, it really comes down to luck here, or whether or not he was running Jolly, Scarf, or Adamant, so let's see what happens. So here we have this epic Jirachi on Jirachi standoff. Really, it's crazy. So, I do win the speed tie, or if it's not a speed tie, I just outspeed him because he's not running the plus speed nature, and I get the sub up, and he does go for the trick, meaning he's unable to do anything to me, and I can just set up for free, set up Calm Minds, or whatever I want to do. He knows this, so he's just going to quit here, and that will be the game in my favor. So, yeah. That was like a clutch victory, if I do say so myself. I really had to get on my A game here, because this guy was just making me his little bitch. Couldn't have that, though, and so, yeah. That was a pretty good battle, I thought. I know he quit kinda early, but really in retrospect, what could he have done? Ferrothorn wouldn't be able to break my sub before I set up too much. Tentacruel would just get destroyed as soon as it came in, straight up. His Jirachi was incapable of breaking my sub in one hit and didn't really have anything to hit me with. And the Latios was asleep, so I could have set up on that, and it wouldn't have been able to break my sub either, even if his was Calm Mind, because I do resist the Dragon-type moves, being that I am part Steel. So yeah, intense battle there, really had a lot of fun with it. Good game, Suzuki, or whatever your name was, I really don't know. And yeah. So, as usual, if you guys like this, go ahead and like the video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. I actually have 79 subscribers right now, which is crazy. So, one more and I'll get 80, and maybe even upload an 80 sub special, I don't know. And what do you guys think about me posting stories from my life? Let me know in the comments below, and things and stuff. I really don't know what I'm saying anymore, rambling again, so I'm just going to end this here. Thank you guys so much for watching, you're always awesome, and yeah. So that's going to do it for me, guys, and I'll see you all next time.